Hello, everyone. I'm Palisha. I'm the General Secretary of NSA. Today, we're here to collaborate with Chhaupadi organization to do a webinar on Chhaupadi and period isolation. NSA is a small Nepalese organization working in UTA, which helps to unite Nepalese students culture, and we do a lot of events. And this semester has been really, really good for us. We've done a lot of events so far, and this is one of the important ones. So to start with, I would like Jessica to talk a little bit about her organization and her goals, and a little bit about her members and stuff like that. You can take it away, Jessica.
Hi, my name is Jessica. I'm the president / CEO of our organization. And I just want to talk about a little bit about who we are as an organization. So just to start off, we provide pads and tampons to those in need in the DFW area, as well as in Nepal as well. We try to make sure that those that are on their period have it with dignity. We donate our period products mostly to domestic violence safe houses, schools, homeless shelters in the local area, as well as sending them overseas to Nepal as well. And we also donate directly to the homeless on top of that. We currently are thinking about branching out to sending products to places like Africa and Guatemala as well, just to help. What we've done so far, just to talk about just some of our events and the organizations that we've worked with. So we've worked with Nepal orphan homes in Nepal. We've sent them period products to help 42 young girls. We plan to send more in the future, as well as sending literature about period hygiene. We've worked with SOSAC, which is a social service center. We're currently working closely with them to make a Chhaupadi education program in order to educate the people of Nepal about this issue. We've also have raised $180 to send them to benefit their program. We have a period product cabinet program. So we go out into the local community and find stores or facilities that don't provide pads and tampons to their community that they serve. We then install cabinets and refill them with pads and tampons. That way this population can have access to period products. So we currently have 3, one at a soup kitchen in Denton, one at a methadone clinic, and one at a local high school. We also have a donation box at Soho Hair Salon in Denton, and members of the community are allowed to drop off period products for donations. This is how we've raised 17,000 pads and tampons this way. Just to talk about some of the past events that we've done. We've had a lot of farmers market events where we've sold baked goods and veggies to the local community. The money that we've raised went to SOSAC and buying period products and helping us get our nonprofit status, which we are currently applying for. We have fed the homeless several times, as well as passed out period products along with sandwiches. We fed the first responders breakfast to show our support to local firefighters and police officers. And we also have cleaned up trash in the local community that has shown us so much support. Brenda is going to take it away with our future events.
Hi, everybody. My name's Brenda, and I am the Director of Outreach. Right now, we have some current events coming up for the upcoming months. So right now, we are working for an art competition for November 1st, and that is on a Sunday from 12 p.m. Till Friday, November 20th. To 1 p.m. So we will be holding an art competition winner. Will get a grand prize, and the topic is, what does menstruation mean to you? And then for November 1st, we have a period product drive with Hebron Girl Up. So we will be having a period product drive with Hebron Girl Up the whole month of November, and all products will go to a domestic violence shelter. And then for Saturday, November 7th, Chhaupadi Talk with UTA, which is today. And we will be speaking, we're talking about, the Chhaupadi tradition, how it affects young girls. And then for December, we will have a Pilot Point Christmas on the Square Farmers Market, and we will be selling baked goods, and whatever we make financially, we use it for the community, for Nepal, for period products, menstrual products, for all over, where we can help out the best. And then on Saturday, December 12th, we will have a period chat with period myths from around the world. And this will be an online webinar. We will be talking about periods as well as period myths from around the world with Girl Up. And this is from an agency that is in Orlando.
And Prima is just going to briefly touch about our volunteer program.
Hello everyone, my name is Pratima and I am the volunteer coordinator / VP for Chhaupadi. So like Jessica said, the main purpose of our organization is to provide menstrual products to those in need and create awareness about the tradition of Chhaupadi. And for that, we are always seeking volunteers and always looking for help. So if any of you would like to volunteer with us, I just wanted to touch base on how you can sign up. So first, when you go to our website, www.chhaupadi.org, we have all of our upcoming events on the event calendar on the website. And if you see anything you want to be a part of, you can either fill out the volunteer sign up form. Am I still on? Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah, we can. I think it was
Okay.
like frozen for a second. That's
Oh,
all right.
Okay, where was I?
I think about volunteer sheets, something about volunteer sheets.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you go to our website, and if you guys see that anything that you like, you can just sign up on there, or either you can also email send an email to Chhaupadi's email address, which is chhaupadi@outlook.com. I'm going to leave it on the chat box here in just a second. And once we get the email, we will send you a couple of forms and for you to sign and then confirm you for the event. And each time you come and volunteer with us, I will log your hours for you. And in case you need them in the future, we can just send you a signed copy of all of your hours via email. And yeah, that's kind of all I have for volunteer.
All right, thank you. Jessica, is there anything else you'd like to add? You're on mute, Jessica.
Not currently, not right now.
Okay, would Sunita would like to say something about the outreach in Nepal, about that? Or would you want to save that for later?
We can say it now. That's fine.
It's like if she's ready, we can like just like, you know, like add it right here if you want.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, she can go ahead and say it. Sunita? Hi.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Sunita. I am a director of Nepal's Orphan Home. We have our organization in Kathmandu. So we have around 100 children with us, and then we work with the women of our community also. So we have like we have never worked with the administration programs in Nepal. So this is the first time I am connected through Chhaupadi, through Jessica, with this program. So yeah, on November 12th, when we'll have another meeting, then at that time I will be able to say you about the myths of the Chhaupadi, and also like our experience, how we had our first ministerial experience also. So at that time.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for being here with us today.
Yes.
And we'll make sure that most of us join that event you're talking about period myth. Thank you so much, Chhaupadi organization, for all the information and introduction to all your members. Next, I have Prasansa, who will be briefly discussing about her experience working with women in Nepal and how the idea of Chhaupadi connects with other traditions in Nepal. Prasansa, are you ready?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
ready.
Yeah, you can take
Hello,
it.
everyone. Yeah, thank you so much. First of all, thank you for inviting me here and giving me this platform to share my learnings. It's actually, I think, 10 p.m. here in Nepal. it's actually time for us to sleep, but it's a wonderful opportunity for me to, like, sacrifice my sleep and talk about women and menstruation and periods, which are very important issues. So it was wonderful hearing all the work that Chhaupadi organization have been doing in America and in Nepal too. And it was also amazing hearing Sunita ji and how they have been helping young girls to have a safe menstruation. And since we talked about a lot about work and how they have been motivated to go forward in this change making process, uh, the word Chhaupadi was frequently used, and but I think we have to discuss about it and what is the status of Chhaupadi and periods in Nepal. And I have been a social activist. I have been fighting against child marriage, kidnap marriage, and have been advocating for the empowerment of the women for 4 years now. So having to work with women and the issues and the exploitation of rights that women in my country, Nepal, faces, I think menstruation is a vital topic to be settled for their safety, both physical and mental. Uh, First of all, when I first heard about Chhaupadi and the period, it was actually from my mother and grandmother. How did the idea of Chhaupadi came? How did separating women from their household and putting them in a separate house, in a small room? That is the general concept of Chhaupadi. And how did that start? So my grandmother told me that long before, um, periods and pads were not available during their time, and to use clothes, they did not have the underwear, so they couldn't use the clothes either. So when they used to have periods, they used to like let it bleed and did nothing about it, and went to work like cutting grasses and doing their daily household work. So the people from my grandmother's community came up with idea that women during the period, during this menstruation, they are weak, they're not at their best physically, so they don't have to work. So to rest, they're put in a separate room where they maintain the hygiene. And generally, Nepali, housing system is made in such a way that our kitchen and our bedrooms are connected with our cow sheds where we keep our animals. So since the house is connected with the settlement of animals, there is high chances that it could be very unhygienic to the females and girls. So they separated a room where they can maintain the hygiene and stuff like that. And apart from that, for the sanitation and hygiene of the family members, also they were separated. So initially it was for actually like a caring purpose, that when you have your periods, we want you to be safe, we want you to eat healthy, and you want to maintain hygiene of everyone. That was the initial concept, but later on it actually developed and took a form of social construct that demeans women and keep them away from having their freedom to work and be who they are during the time of menstruation. And apart from that, in Nepali culture, we're not allowed to enter the temple when we have our periods, and that too have a long history that was told by my grandmother. She said that long before, temples were very far away from the village, so we do puja 2 times a day in Nepali culture, morning and in the evening. So since temples are like 1-2 hours walk away from the village, and while having during period we are physically weak, so they came up with the idea that during period you don't have to go there, you don't have to walk, just rest. So that was again initial concept of how this all idea formed. But now coming to today, how it had taken form is uh, it's very it comes as a huge disadvantage for young girls and women, because of Chhaupadi, We have read and seen so many incidents that has brutally affected life of those young people and women, like they become victim of rape, and some of them are killed. And some, like, since the house that is used for Chhaupadi, it's not so well maintained, it's cold, it's small. So like, I have heard stories of women dying of suffocation, cold, having to got cold, being bitten by snakes. Those are the problems that we are facing right now. And Chhaupadi is not a small issue here, because it's very strong, and people take it very seriously. Even my friends, they don't actually practice the concept of Chhaupadi, but when they are having periods, they are not allowed to go inside the kitchen and cook and stuff like that. So let's say period isolation is still maintained in the city areas too. And having to do research on Nepalese community, and I've understood one thing, that respecting elders is very important to us. That's why what was passed to us from our past generation is very important too. Chhaupadi is like a legacy to us. It was given to us from our grandfathers' fathers. That way it was brought to us, and so it is deeply rooted and it's very important to us. That's why it is very difficult to actually eliminate or eradicate it. And when it comes to problems like Chhaupadi or child marriage or domestic violence, or lack of education to girls, um, I thought that it is illiteracy. People are not educated. That's why such kind of social problem exists, and that's why women have to go through so much trouble. I used to think that way, just because they don't know how to do add and subtract, or read essay, or write in Nepali, or or they don't know anything about just like taxes and stuff like that. They don't know what PTR of 100. I thought that because of that they didn't know. uh, they just because they were uneducated, they were practicing these kind of social issues, or let's say yeah, I used to think that way. But later on, when I did my research, I found out that the headmaster of a high school had committed child marriage of his two daughters. So the person who was actually responsible for teaching, kids about big future and not committing child marriage, or may stuff like that, he himself had committed child marriage of his two daughters. So it wasn't actually about not knowing how to read or write. It was more about whether you follow the social construct or not. So I think it's social construct that we have to actually work on, and it is a great effort. So my understanding of how we can actually, maintain safe period in Nepal and in other countries is to actually start from young generation, and we have to provide them resources, which Chhaupadi organization is already doing so well. Because we can talk about, okay, don't put your daughter in one small room and practice Chhaupadi. Don't do that. We can say that, but we actually have to provide them resources. In major part of Nepal, women still use clothes which are extremely unhygienic, and they cannot afford pads either, because a minimum price for one pads is, I think, 35 rupees. And if you want the longer size, it costs from 65 rupees to 70 to 95. It goes that way. So a lot of people do not have that kind of money to invest in a pad. So we actually have to provide resources. We have to provide them things they could use to actually practice safe menstruation. I think a very initial start could be taking a sample village, or maybe sample ward, where we can experiment with different angles, be it by providing resources, or or maybe wearing itself, or other techniques that we can use, so that later on, if one of those of our experiment does work out in that village in terms of breaking the stereotypes and social construct, and informing a safe menstruation, then we can actually use that sample village as an example to inspire other neighboring villages. So I think that could be one step that I personally would like to, suggest to Chhaupadi organization to actually bring out safe menstruation in Nepal. And yeah, that is my understanding about social problems, social construct, and women's status in Nepal. And I think we can go back and forth on discussing how we can take it more further and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm done for now. Thank you.
Thank you, Prashansa. It was really, really informative, all the things that you said, and I really agree with the idea about all these traditions. It comes from like it's like a legacy, you know. So, Jessica, anyone from Chhaupadi, do you have any comments or any questions for her?
She said it beautifully. Like, I agree with everything that she said. She said it very well. I also believe that there's a lack of reporting about this tradition as well. So we definitely need to re-educate people about reporting this when they see it happening, and start from a young age. Like, if your grandparent or aunt or uncle is trying to force you to go through this is not acceptable. This is not okay. You need to report it to a teacher, to a police officer, to someone who can help you.
Very well said. Anybody else from Chhaupadi organization? Do you guys have anything else to add? Any comments?
I do just have a question for her. I had read that the punishment if you're caught trying to force someone to practice this tradition, it's like a 30-day stay in jail or a 30 US dollar fine. Is that true?
Um, I have not actually read rules and regulation against Chhaupadi, but
Okay.
I do know that the government has taken, policies. The government has made strict policies against it, and I would love to share to you this one campaign that government did a few months back. That they destroyed all the Chhaupadi houses, right? And then with the mindset that they won't practice Chhaupadi if there is no houses to keep the women. But then later on, people from that community came up and said, you destroyed our house, we're still going to practice the Chhaupadi, but you destroyed
Wow.
our house. So that those kind of issues were brought up. And talking about, I would love to share this with you. And I was very shocked when I found this out. In 2019, I did my research on how, what is the, reporting policy in Nepal and how effective it is. So I work with child marriage, and the place that I work is Rukum district of Nepal. And in that district, district DSP said to me that 80% of the marriages are child marriage every year. And so
Wow.
80% that's huge, right? And then I
Yeah.
went children's and women's, uh, we call children's and mahila rabal balika cell in Nepali. That's a terminology. I went there to see how many cases were reported. The 80% child marriage might have been thousands of cases of child marriage reported to police, right? But then there were 3 cases reported in last 5
Wow.
years. Can you believe that?
That's
So here's the catch.
insane.
Okay, yeah, here's the catch. That Nepali people they don't go reporting crimes. Like I told, it's a social construct. You live in a community, and community is glued with this emotions of togetherness. We don't go and say bad things about each other that well. We like in Nepal, when you go to village areas, um, everyone is connected with relationship. In my village, there is not a single person that is stranger to me. I know everyone, and I'm related to everyone. Some are my cousins. Some are my brothers, sisters. Like it's like a chain. It's like a family. So you don't directly go and report against your own family member. So
Yeah.
that is where the huge barrier comes. And this happened when I talked to one of the victim about forceful marriage, and I wanted her to report her dad because he forced her into this marriage. And she said, if I reported my dad, he will go to jail for 1 to 2 years. He have to pay 20,000 rupees. But then when Dasai comes, our major festivals, when I go to my dad's house, there will be no dad. Then from whom I'm going to get
Yeah.
my blessings after receiving tika,
Mm-hmm.
So those kind of issues are there. And I think reporting is amazing stuff. And government has already taken huge responsibilities on that and has already taken a lot of actions, but then people are not going to report it. So we have to take a different angle and different way of approaching the people. So first we have to change the mindset. I think that approach would be better than, because people are generally don't report in Nepal. Yeah.
And plus, just to add to that, it's hard to change people's minds after they've been practicing something for like 50 years. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So it's like, how do we go about changing that? How do we go about talking to them about that if that's just their lifestyle?
Right. So what I did was, it was in terms of child marriage. I approached young generation more than, older ones. I categorized in 3 age group. There were kids from high school till grade 12, and there were moms and dad, their parents, and there were grandparents. So we had 3 different approaches to, to those 3 different age group. But then we focused more on children. Children are very acceptance to changes.
Yeah.
They are open with, they want to take step ahead, and they are one of the most influential one too. And from my personal experience, we can change the mindset of students, and we also have a lot of support from schools too. In village areas, school have really great power, because everyone respect teachers in villages of Nepal, right? Because they think teachers are very smart, they know everything. So that way there's a huge respect to teacher. And I think school and young generation could be a great approach. And it's gonna take time, because Chhaupadi has been with us for a very long time. So it might at least take us 10 to 15 years, might go to 20 years. But then if we approach young generation, they're gonna be parents someday, and that way I think we can actually lift the layer of Chhaupadi and other social issues.
I agree. Yeah, that's true.
Very well said, both of you. Thank you so much. Do we have any questions or comments from other people from the audience? Just feel free to speak on your microphone. Anybody, or if you want, you can post your questions or comments on the chat section.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah. May I say something?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Yeah. I'm Madhav Bhattrai, working at Swastik Nepal Daile. It is an NGO working with women and children, working for women and children since 18 years ago. Now, for this, in this webinar, I would like to share some issues that are prevailing in Dalit district, not only in Dalit district, over in Karnali province. At the history and introduction is clearly mentioned by Prasanna Sakeshi. She has already mentioned all the history and introduction. It is similar in quite Karnali province as well, but some major facts of Karnali province I would like to share. That in our study, we have found that around 5 to 10 girls or women are dead annually, staying in isolation in the period of menstruation due to improper hygiene and sanitation. It is the present. It is the present condition of Karnali province, which is one of the most remote province of Nepal. Similarly, the practice of staying in isolation has been decreased. In part, it was made that in first time of period, girls were made to stay in isolation for 15 days, but now it has been reduced somewhere in 7 days or somewhere in 10 days. So it has been reduced. And like Jessica ma'am said that, told that there is proper law which has been maintained by government, but still due to unawareness and lack of awareness and uneducation, still girls are practicing, although their thou said has been destroyed by government. They are still practicing such practice because it has been involved in their culture. So it has been hard enough to break that chain of the culture which has been practiced far so long. Thank you.
Yeah, I agree. Thank you so much. You said you're from Karnali.
Karnali province.
Okay, okay, Karnali
It,
province. Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's from Nepal.
Okay, yeah. I definitely agree. In remote areas, it is more prevalent. The Chhaupadi system is more prevalent, but
माधव सर
हजुर
म
हजुर सर
नेपालीमा केही भन्छु तपाईले उ गर्नुस् है
ओके सर
भनिदिनुस् है
हजुर हजुर भन्नु न
ल तपाईले उहाँलाई भनिदिनु म बोल्नु
हुन्छ
हजुर
हुन्छ
बोल्नु बोल्नु सुनिरहेको छौँ हामी
यो सबैलाई नमस्कार यो बोल्ने अवसर दिनुभएकोमा यसमा अहिले त म कोभिडको कारणले आइसोलेसनमा छु राम्रोसँग बोल्न सकिरहेको छैन र दैलेख हस्पिटलमा र यो छाउपडीको अवस्था एकदम दैलेख जिल्लाको लागि धेरै नाजुक अवस्था छ हामीले भोगेको अब बहिनीहरू पहिलो पटक मिन्स भयो भने छोरीहरू पहिलो पटक मिन्स भयो भने बाबुआमाको र घरको र अनि बाबुआमा र भाइको मुख हेर्नुहुन्न भनेर जङ्गलमा गइकन बस्ने चलन छ त्यो अहिले पनि झन्डै 65% छ र त्यो बेला घरमा बस्नु नहुने जङ्गलमा बस्ने अनि यो कारणले पनि कतिपय बहिनीहरू डराएर अनि उसमा बाल विवाह गर्ने चलन छ यो पनि एकदम डरलाग्दो अवस्था हो त्यस्तै गरी उसमा अनि बस्ने ठाउँ पनि कस्तो छ भने अहिले छाउपडी सानसाना छाउपडी गुड थिए त्यो हेल्दी गोठ त सधैँ थिएन त्यो पनि भइसकेपछि अहिले स्याङ्कु जस्तो ओडेर चाहिँ छाउपडीमा बस्ने पराल वरिपरि पराल बेरेर छाउपडीमा बस्नुपर्ने अवस्था छ त्यो बेला त्यो 1 वर्षको बच्चा होस् चाहे 2 वर्षको बच्चा होस् बच्चासँगै आमाले बस्ने र दही दुध नदिने छाउपडी भएको बेला जुन पोसिलो खाना खानुपर्ने थियो त्यो दही दुधहरू नदिने यस्तो चलनहरू एकदम पर्याप्त छ दैलेख भन्दा पनि अब सुदूरपश्चिम र कर्णाली प्रदेश दुईटा प्रदेशमा चाहिँ यो चलन एकदम धेरै छ यो भन्नुस् माधव सर अनि अरु म थपौँला
I would like to translate what he mentioned. The person who spoke earlier was the chairperson, former chairperson of SOSEC Nepal Daile. He is in isolation due to COVID. So he was, as he is the resident of Daile district and had covered the area and due to implementation of project in Daile and Sudur Paschim province. He mentioned that Daile and Sudur Paschim province are one of the prone areas for the Chhaupadi. He also mentioned that 65% of girls still go to jungle in their first time of menstruation to avoid, because the community has avoided them to see the face of their brother and sister in the period of menstruation. This has also increased the death rate because of improper settlement, as well as has increased child marriage too. Still, they are living in a small hut, which is very much small, with improper breeding, which has made them to sophisticate. And kill, and due to unhealthy and improper hygiene, many girls and women died in such hut. He also mentioned that in the time of menstruation, curd, milk are not given to them. So this states that improper what called that fooding also
यो
had is also a concern to in such period.
Mhm.
अनि अनि दैलेखमा मान्छेले छुनु हुन भनेर सर्पले टोकेर 5 जना बहिनीहरू कोटमै छाउकोटमै मृत्यु भयो। सर्पले टोके पनि त्यो मान्छेलाई छुनु हुँदैन भनेर हस्पिटल नल्याइदिएर मृत्यु भएको अवस्था पनि छ र एकदम
You just mentioned that 5 girls died due to snake bite in the time of menstruation, staying in such a hut. They could have lived, they could have survived if they were taken to hospital in time, but people believe that in such period, in such time, they are untouchable, so they were not taken to hospital. They were not taken to hospital and leave them to die on such cases.
आज आजभन्दा 5 वर्ष अगाडि हामी चाहिँ एउटा स्कुलमा अनुगमन गर्ने क्रममा गएको थियौँ। अनुगमन गर्ने क्रममा महिला शिक्षक चाहिँ मिन्स हुनुभएको रहेछ। उहाँ चाहिँ म्याक्सी लगाएर स्कुलमा आउनुभएको, नाइट ड्रेस लगाएर म्याक्सी लगाएर स्कुलमा आउनुभएको। तपाईँले यसरी किन आउनुभएको स्कुलमा यस्तो ड्रेसमा भनेको म मिन्स भएको छु भन्नुभयो। अनि मिन्स भएको बेला त तपाईँले त राम्रै ड्रेसमा आउने हो, यस्तो ल्याएर लगाएर आउन मिल्छ भनेको। तपाईँहरूले 7 दिन चाहिँ स्कुलमा बिदा दिने व्यवस्था गर्नुहोस्। यो छाउपडी भएको बेला हामीले स्कुलमा पढाउनु पनि नपरोस् र के अरे हामी चाहिँ घरमा त बस्न पाउँदैनौँ, स्कुलमा पनि पढाउन नआउनु पायो भने हामी खुसी हुन्छौँ भन्ने खालका कुरा गरे। र यो लेभल भनेको हाम्रो दैलेख जिल्लाको हकमा यसो हेर्ने हो भने पढा लेखेका मान्छेहरूमा पनि बढी चाहिँ छाउपडी चाहिँ मान्ने चलन छ कि उनीहरू चाहिँ स्कुलमा गएर बच्चाहरूलाई पनि त्यो सिकाउँछन् कि छाउपडी मान्नुपर्छ भन्ने सिकाउँछन्। एउटा अर्को स्कुलको घटना कुरा गर्छु। हिमालय मावि डाँडीमाडी भन्ने एउटा स्कुल छ। त्यो स्कुलमा उच्च मावि हो। त्यो स्कुलमा शिक्षिकाहरूले पानी थापेर खाने के भनेको मतलब त्यो पानी आफै छोएर पानी नलिने त्यहाँबाट नलिने। मैले एक दिन त्यहाँ कार्यक्रममा गएर भनेपछि स्टाफ मिटिङ गरेर बन्द गर्यौं त भनेका छन्। त्यसको म फलोअप गर्दैछु। पानी थापेर खाइरहेको एकजना बच्चाले फोटो खिचेर मलाई हालिदिएको भनेको मतलब यस्तो विद्यालयमा झन् बढी चाहिँ छ। अहिले त कस्तो पनि गर्दै छन् भने विद्यालयको गेटमा सरस्वतीको मन्दिर बनाइदिया छन्। मन्दिर भएको ठाउँमा के अरे मिन्स भएको मान्छे जानु हुँदैन भन्ने चलन छ। त्यो भएर त्यो विद्यालयमा मिन्स भएका बहिनीहरू पढ्नै नजाने 7 दिनसम्म त्यस्तोसम्म अवस्था चाहिँ सिर्जना भएको छ।
Yeah. You were telling that it is even practiced by educated people also. He mentioned some teachers who were giving such education to children and students to practice menstruation, to practice such house in informal ways. They were also even practicing such untouchabilities. So this has passed to student and has make them to obey such practice. So he was trying to tell that through his experience, he was trying to tell that such practices are even are practiced by educated people also. I think moreover at the Prasansa Keshi was also working at Rukum, as she mentioned earlier. I think she could clear it more.
Yeah, Prashansa, do you have to add anything or anybody else?
I think, no, I don't think I know this actually. Hearing from two of amazing sir and what they have doing and their research on Chhaupadi is really helpful to me personally too, because I haven't done research on Chhaupadi. I haven't studied Chhaupadi. It's something, you know, that I've seen in my community, and I have seen it happening, and it's a lot more from observation and what exists around me. And the news of, you know, 5 young girls dying of snake bite and not being taken to hospital, I think that was really sad, because 5 lives were taken away from them just because of this one practice. Apart from that, yes, it exists in a very brutal form, and when we go deeper and understand how it has, you know, settled in our lives and, you know, our community, it becomes very, very hard to actually find out how to, you know, eradicate it. And I think we have already discussed a lot of general approaches that we can, you know, take further to eliminate this practice. But then can we actually discuss more into this and have a brainstorming, you know, about what we can do to actually eliminate Chhaupadi?
Sure.
I think
excuse me.
Yeah, go
that's
ahead.
it.
Prasansa ji, I think
That's it.
Yuvraj sir has been working in this issue since nearly about 10 years. So I think he must have experience on such
18
issues.
18
Oh, 18 years. He
Madhav sir
mentioned
80
18 years. Yeah, he mentioned 18 years. So I think he must have experience on this. So I think, as you said earlier, some resources are also needed for their help. So could we listen to Hira sir for what kind of resources and what kind of issues that can be dealt with our projects or our efforts? Can we discuss with him, or can we listen him?
अरु यस्तो छ माधव सर, म त 18 वर्षदेखि काम गर्छु। हामीले जतिखेर छाउपडीको कुरा गर्थ्यौं त्यो बेला दैलेखमा छाउपडीको छ पनि भन्थेनन् र गाउँ परिषदबाट सोसेकलाई गाउँमा काम गर्न दिनुहुन्न भन्ने निर्णय समेत गरेका हुन् 3-4 वटा गाउँपालिकाबाट, गाउँ विकास साबिकका गाविसबाट। भने हामीले त्यो बेला कसरी काम गर्यौं र म आफै पनि कस्तो घरको मान्छे हुँ भने मेरो घरबाट 30 मिटर भित्र छाउपडी भएको मान्छे आउनुहुन्न भन्ने चलनको मान्छे हुँ। मेरो गाउँको वरिपरि घरको त्यो देवालबाट 30 मिटर टाढाबाट मान्छे आउनुहुन्न भन्ने चाहिँ चलन छ र हामीले खाने पानी खाने घर धारामा छाउपडी भएको मान्छेले नुहाउनु हुँदैन, त्यहाँको पानी लिनु हुँदैन भन्ने चलन छ। त्यस्तो चलन त्यस्तो ठाउँबाट हुर्केको मान्छे हो म। भन्नु माधव सर, म
I would like to clear that he himself belongs to a priest family, so his family was also strictly obeying the rules and regulation of that Chhaupadi system. He was trying to say that.
मेरा गाउँका सबै मान्छेहरू देउताको थानमा गएर धामीसँग के भन्थे अरे भने त्यो हिरासिंहले छाउपडीको पुरा गर्छ त्यसलाई देउता लगाइदेऊ भन्थे अरे। अनि त्यस्तोसम्म भनेर त्यस्तो उसबाट म हुर्केर आएको मान्छे र म तपाईलाई अर्को घटना पनि सुनाऊ। मेरो परिवार मिन्स भएको बेला मेरो परिवार पनि छाउपडी बार्ने, अनि मेरो घरमा गएपछि त 30 मिटर भित्र नआउन मिल्ने। अनि हामी दुईजना घरमा गयौं, सँगै एउटै कोठामा बस्यौं, सुत्यौं, त्यही खाना खायौं। 3 दिनपछि अब परिवारलाई अप्ठ्यारो माने के जाउँ बजार जाम भने आफ्नो बजारमा पनि घर थिएन त्यो बेला, त डेरा थियो। हामी डेरामा बस्थ्यौं, आयौं। परिवारले खाना बनाए पहिलो दिन चाहिँ म मिन्स बाजु खाना पकाउँदैन भने हिजोसँगै बस्नु हुने, आज खाना किन नपकाउनु हुने भन्ने मैले त्यो दिन म भोकै बसेँ। भोलिपल्ट पनि मैले खाना परिवारले नबनाएपछि होटलबाट मगाएर खाएँ हैन। अनि त्यसो दिन त अब म होटलबाट नि मगाउन भनेपछि परिवारले खाना पकाउने खाने गर्यौं र मैले आफ्नो घरबाट अन्त्य गरेँ। र त्यसै गरी गाउँमा सबैलाई अन्त्य गरेको छु। त्यसकारण कहिलेकाहीँ के हुँदो रहेछ भने मेरो त एउटा के हो भने यो छाउपडीको सवाल महिलाको हो कि महिलाहरूले नबुझिदिएपछि पुरुषहरूलाई अलि गाह्रो नै छ पुरुषहरूलाई बोल्न। किनभने मलाई त कुनै पनि पीडा छैन नि त, के को पीडा छ र मलाई? मैले त के देखेँ, हिजो मेरो आमा मिन्स भएको बेला पाएका दुःख, त्यो पल्लो घरको बहिनी मिन्स भएको बेला पाएको दुःख, तल्लो घरको दिदी मिन्स भएको बेला पाएको दुःख, के अरे बहिनी मिन्स भएको बेला जङ्गलतिर दौडेको बेला किन गइस यता आइज भने बेला त्यसको अनुहार हेर्नु नै घरमा दशा लाग्छ भनेका कुराहरू, यस्ता यस्ता कुराहरू त हामीले भोगेका छौँ त। तर अहिले पनि मलाई के भयो भने यो कार्यक्रम भनेर बोल्न राम्रोसँग भइरहेको छैन, तर आइसोलेसनबाट पनि हजुरहरूका कुरा सुनौँ, आफ्ना पनि केही कुरा सुनौँ भनेर।
हिरा सर,
हजुर हस्
हिरा सर,
भन्नुहोस्।
सर हामीले अहिले सोचेको चाहिँ के भने तपाईँ यत्रो 18 वर्षदेखि यसमा काम गरिरहनु भएको छ, यो विषयमा हामीले काम गर्दा कस्ता खालका कामहरू गर्यो भने चाहिँ यसले प्रभावकारी भूमिका खेल्न सक्छ भन्ने खालका कुराहरू चाहिँ एकचोटि तपाईँसँग जान्न खोजेको छ।
अहिले अलिकति मैले अहिले पछिल्लो चरण होइन, पहिला पहिला त हामीले त गाउँमा गयौँ, यो अवेरनेस पनि धेरै जग्गाका छौँ होइन। अब सोसेकले त क्रस कटिङ भनेर छाउपडीको प्रोजेक्ट नभए पनि सबै प्रोजेक्टमा त त्यो लागू गरेको छ। हामीले हरेक प्रोग्राममा 30 मिनट त छाउपडीका कुरा गर्छौँ। अब यो एउटा त हाम्रो अभियानै भइहाल्यो होइन, त्यो गरेकै छौँ। र अहिले चाहिँ अलिकति रेडियो प्रोग्रामसँग क्लबहरू लिङ्क गरेर क्लबहरूलाई केही एवारनेस जगाउने खालका कामहरू गर्यो भने अलिक बढी रोकिन्छ कि भन्ने चाहिँ लागिरहेछ। अहिले हामीले कोभिडमा जुन रेडियोसँग बालबालिकाको कार्यक्रमहरू गर्दाखेरि बालबालिकाले धेरै सुन्ने, बालबालिकाले अलिकति बढी यसलाई बुझेको महसुस भएको हुनाले रेडियोसँग जोड्यो भने अलिकति ठिक हुन्छ कि भन्ने सोचेको अहिले पछिल्लो।
I think Prasamsa KCG will define the measures that could be applied.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. May I also translate what he said? Or is it clear?
Yeah, sure, ma'am, sure.
Yeah, so what he said was, they have, according to him, I think radio programs would be very highly affected to spread awareness and actually break the mindset of people starting from young generation, because in different areas, especially villages of Rukum, young kids are very prone to listening to radios while they go cut grasses or they go work in the field. They tend to listen to radios. So using radio programs and especially being centric towards some entertainment programs, with the message of ending Chhaupadi could be highly effective. He said that, and I think that is a absolutely amazing point, because I know that Lokgit, Lokgit are a genre of songs in Nepal. Lokgit are very popular in villages of Nepal. So I think if we actually work on Lokgits or maybe small series where we can actually educate the young people how Chhaupadi is adversely affecting the life of young girls, I think that could be a great approach to actually break the mindset. So yeah.
Yeah. Besides this, he also included to mobilize CSOs, community-based organizations, such as clubs, women groups, farmer groups, because in farmer groups, basically, women are related on such groups. So if we mobilize such group also, this could be more effective on ending Chhaupadi.
Yeah. I wanted to add one thing, Ismati. It would be great if Chhaupadi organization that is working here from the US could collaborate with you guys in some way or the other. What are the prospects of that, like you guys collaborating together? Madhavji?
Yes, sure, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we are trying to collaborate. So we have submitted concept note on this issue. So I think let's see on future that we can collaborate and work together on such issue, and hoping to have a great result.
Okay. If they want to contact you or you want to contact them, how do we do that? Or is there like a website we could reach out to or email address?
Yeah, sure. I will be writing my our organization email address and contact person in chat box.
Okay, sure. Okay, Prasansa wanted to add something. Thank you, Madhavji. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I think collaboration could be a great approach. And I think when collaborated, I think there should be a sustainable plan too. I think Madhavji and Hari sir has already have that in mind. Like I put the idea before, I think taking a sample village and being very much centric to that one specific area for a very long period of time, so that effect can be very significant after a few years, and that sample village can be actually taken as an example for other villages. I think that can be a great approach, and yeah, that I support that like format of collaborating and bringing the change here.
Thank you so much, Prasansa. Do we have any more questions from the audience? हजुरहरूलाई नेपालीमा भन्दा कम्फर्टेबल हुन्छ भने नेपालीमा नि भन्दा हुन्छ.
Yes.
Yes.
Can I say something?
Yeah, sure.
My question is to Hira sir actually. Hira dai, हजुरले यो फिल्डमा काम गर्नुभएको धेरै भयो जस्तो लाग्यो हैन. मलाई चाहिँ एउटा के क्वेशन थियो भने यो चाहिँ एउटा कल्चरल इस्यु भइसक्यो हैन. जतिसुकै चाहिँ नि सरकारले जे गरे पनि यदि घरबाट नै मानिरहेको छैनन् भने त त्यो एउटा जब भत्काको घर फेरि बनाउन के ठुलो कुरो हो. मैले जान्न खोजेको चाहिँ यसको कारण चाहिँ के हो. छौपडीको कारण चाहिँ यो कतै अब के भन्छ रिलिजियस बुक्सहरुमा लेखिएको चीज हो कि उही त्यो बाउले चाहिँ बिरालो बाँधेर छोरछोरीले पनि बिरालो बाँध्न थालेको जस्तो हो कि कारण चाहिँ के हो. किनभने अब किताबमा लेखिएको चीज किताबमा लेखिएको होइन र यतिकै बोल्या हो भने चाहिँ नि सायद अब एउटा जुन लजिकल आर्गुमेन्ट लिएर चाहिँ यसमा चाहिँ हाम्रो किताबहरुमा लेखिएको छैन तिमीहरुले त्यतिकै गरिराछौ भनेर चाहिँ आर्ग्यु गर्नको मिल्थ्यो कि. किनभने हामीले पनि हाम्रो परिवारमा देखिआएको कुरो हो. हाम्रो मम्मी टिचर हुनुहुन्छ, ब्याचलर गर्नुभएको, एउटा राम्रो स्कुलमा पढाउने मान्छे पनि पन्छिदाखेरि खाना बनाउनुहुन्न, छुट्टै बस्नुहुन्छ. त्यो कुरो त्यत्रो पढे लेखेर मात्र मान्छेले गर्छ भन्ने कुरो चाहिँ होइन रहेछ भन्ने थाहा भयो नि त. सो यसको कारण चाहिँ के रहेछ त्यो भनिदिनु भयो भने सरी त्यो भनिदिनु भयो भने चाहिँ धेरै ग्रेटफुल हुन्थे. थ्यांक यू.
यसको कारण त अलिकति के हो भने सर यो हामी पुरुषहरू नै हो जस्तो लाग्छ. किन मैले पुरुषहरू हो भन्ने लाग्छ भने हामीले पुरुषले के बनाइदिएका छौँ भने महिलाहरू छाउपडी बेला बाहिर बस्नुपर्छ है भनेर हामीले उहाँहरूको माइन्डसेट गरिदिएका छौँ. अनि हाम्रो घरमा केही घटना भयो भने के भन्छौँ भन्दा तैँले आज छाउपडी भएको बेला छुइछितो गरिस् अनि त्यस कारण चाहिँ घरमा घटना घट्यो भन्ने चलन चलाइदिएका छौँ. त्यो भएर हो मैले अघि पनि भनिहालेँ नि, यदि पुरुष यसमा अगाडि लागेर आफ्नो घरमा मात्रै, अरूको घरमा पर्दैन, कसैले आफ्नो घरमा मात्रै छुटाइदिनुस् न एक्लै. जस्तो मैले मेरो घरमा छुटाएँ त्यस्तै गरी अर्कोले अर्को घरमा गरौँ न. पुरुष सबै सक्रिय भयौँ भने आफ्नो घरमा आफ्नो श्रीमतीलाई घरभित्र तान्ने प्रयास गरिदियौँ भने अब बाबुआमालाई त अलि अप्ठ्यारै छ, उनीहरूलाई अलि हामीले धेरै सम्झाउनु पर्छ हैन. तर आफ्नो श्रीमतीलाई मात्रै तान्न सक्यौँ भने त्यसबाट धेरै कुरा हल हुँदै जान्छ. अनि त्यसबाट थाहा के हुन्छ भन्दा केही हुँदो रहन्छ भन्ने कुरा हुँदै गयो भने त अनि बुढा मान्छेहरू पनि त अहिले त बुढा मान्छेहरू नि परिवर्तन भइरहेछन् नि. किनभने घर नातिनीले अस्ति मैले तपाईलाई एउटा अर्को घटना कुरा गर्छु हेर्नुहोस्. एउटा कार्यक्रममा आउनुभयो बहिनीहरू, मैले तालिम दिएँ. अब तपाईहरूले छाउपडी कसम खुवाए छातीमा हात राखेर घर गएछ र त्यो बहिनीले के भनेछ भने आफ्नो बहिनीलाई सेयर गरेछ. मलाई त आज सरले यसरी कसम खुवाउनु भयो, छाउपडी बेला म त घरभित्र पस्न सक्दैन, म के गर्छु भने म त तपाईको सरलाई भनिदिन्छु भन्नुभएको छ. तर अब बहिनीहरू मलाई अप्ठ्यारो हुन्छ भनेन. त्यसको दोस्रो महिनामा त्यो बहिनी छाउपडी भएछ. म त छाउपडी भएँ, म त जान्न भनेछ. अनि आमाले त घरबाट बाहिर निस्छ भनेर भन्नुभएछ. अनि ल मेरा झोलाझुम्टी ल्याउनुहोस्, तपाईँका घर कहिल्यै नआउने गरी बाहिर जान्छु भनेपछि केही भन्न नसकेर त्यो बहिनी घरमा बस्यो. अनि त्यो बहिनी घरमा बसिसकेपछि पछिल्लो महिनाबाट अर्को बहिनी पनि बस्न सुरु गर्यो. त्यसपछि त्यो घरै परिवर्तन भयो क्या. हो कि हामीले साना बालकहरूलाई बालबालिकाहरू त्यसरी गरेर त्यस्तो कुराहरू गरे अवेरनेस जगाउनु पर्ने यो उ गर्न सकिन्छ कि चाहिँ हामी पुरुष नै हो, पुरुषले भित्र आऊ भन्दा आउँदैनन् भने तान्नु पर्यो. जस्तो म एकै दिन भोकै बसेँ नि, अनि त्यो कुराले पनि त परिवारलाई त अप्ठ्यारो भयो नि त। अब यसले खानै नखाएर यो मर्नुभन्दा त बरु मैले छाउपडी नमान्नु ठिक हो नि त भन्ने भएन र। हो त्यसकारण हामी पुरुषहरू अलिकति एग्रेसिभ भएर लाग्दियौँ भने हुन्छ। तर अब नेतृत्व त महिलालाई लिएर हाम्रो हो, किनभने सवाल महिलाको यो दुःख महिलालाई छ हामीलाई भन्दा होइन। तर हामी पुरुषहरूले जुन यो पुरुषवादी हाम्रो सोचाइ छ, कन्सेप्ट छ, हामीहरूले कहाँ लेखेको छ। म तपाईँलाई कहानी सुनाउँछु। म एउटा तालिममा गएँ, गएर समय छ होला है, म एउटा तालिममा गएँ, 40 जनालाई तालिम दिनु थियो। जेसीको तालिम दियौँ। जेसीको तालिममा यी कुराहरू पनि उठे, सबै कुरा उठे। अनि छुवाछुतका कुरा पनि उठे, अनि छाउपडीका कुरा उठे। यी छाउपडी र छुवाछुत मान्ने यी धामी पुजारी मात्रै हुन् भने त्यहाँ 8 जना धामी र पुजारी सहभागी बोलाएको थियौँ हामीले त्यो कार्यक्रममा। 30 मिनटसम्म ती धामी पुजारी केही बोलेनन्। त्यसपछि एउटा धामीलाई धेरै रिस उठेछ। उठेर के भन्यो भने, ल जनता हो, आज भोलिबाट छाउपडी र छुवाछुत कसैलाई छैन मेरो मन्दिरमा बोल्दाखेरि ती अरू 32 जनाले के भने, तैँले त्यो बोल्न पाउन्नस् सर, कहाँ रहेछ त छुवाछुत र छाउपडी, मैले मेरो मन्दिर खुला गर्न नपाउने, अनि छुवाछुत र छाउपडी गर्ने धामी पुजारी हुन् भन्थे क्या। त्यसकारण हामीले त्यहाँ ब्यागमा को छौँ त भन्दा हामी होइनौँ भनिरहेछौँ, दोष अर्कालाई लगाइरहेछौँ, तर म आफै दोषी छु क्या। यो कारणले गर्दा छाउपडीहरू बढिरहेको, नघटेको। र अनि महिलाहरूले त्यो उ गर्न, अब देउता लाग्छ भनिदिएपछि त कुन महिलाले अप्ठ्यारो नमान्नु। देउता लागेपछि बजार हस्पिटल जानुभन्दा धामी कहाँ पहिला जान्छन्। अनि देउता लाग्छ भनिदिएपछि त छाउपडी मान्नै पर्यो। हो यस्ता कारणहरू छन् सर।
Thank you, Hira sir. I'll just share what he said shortly to you guys. Thank you, Dere Dhanyabad, Hira ji. So what he said was the reason why this is happening in Nepal is because of a lot of reasons. Firstly, that the support from men is not enough. A lot of men need to try to encourage their wives, their daughters to not follow this tradition. And he said that if every man tries to do this in their own homes, then this will just eradicate like one by one, rather than trying to focus on a larger like area. They can just focus on their own homes, right? And the other thing that he said was, I think about superstitious beliefs. Women have been installed this idea in their heads that if you don't follow this tradition, if you don't isolate yourselves in periods, then you might fall sick or you might be cursed or something like that, right? Mostly religious superstitious beliefs, and that's why they're scared. And in the villages, people go to witch doctors rather than going to real doctors during this time, and that is also why they're not very they don't feel safe or they don't feel secure to not perform or not follow Chhaupadi tradition when it should be the other way around. I think I included most of what he said. I just want to get your opinion from Jessica, Brenda, Pritima, if you have anything to say. We've discussed a lot, I know, and I want to hear your opinion about this.
Let me. Definitely, it would help. Like here, I know that our organization is here in the United States. We're not actually in Nepal doing like one-on-one with the victims of Chhaupadi, so it's hard for us. But hopefully, like here in the United States, if we spread the word, if we talk about this issue, talk about this tradition, talk about periods, talk about period hygiene, we could just like maybe open people's minds to helping these victims. And like just talking about periods in general, because a lot of people even today, they don't want to talk about periods or period hygiene.
Yes. Brenda, anything from you?
I would say that we are very interested in joining forces, so we can actually do something about this and, spread the word, help out the victims, whatever it is that we can do, even, do the commercial on the radio, to start spreading the word. Like, I feel like that's a good start for us. I know me as a Hispanic, like we also come from our culture, but learning about this, how people in Nepal are, what they go through, the women, it's very, it's mind blowing, but we're here to help out the women, even the men to join forces and be, try to end this practice. That would be very great.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Brenda. Anything, Pritima, would you like to add anything?
No, just the things about legacy and respecting like our grandmas and grandfathers. So even today, if I go to Nepal and if my grandma's here, like if she tells me to not go to the kitchen or not touch stuff, I'll do it because like I'm not gonna be here arguing with her, like telling me something that she's been believing for 75 years that she's wrong. Like I'll just do it today. But I think the change has to happen from us and the generation after us. Like we have to start the change, and yeah.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Pritima. Was it like shocking for you guys to hear about all the extreme cases of women dying due to snake bites and them not receiving like equal treatment, or them being isolated and like they can't even look at guys when they're on their periods, and going to jungles? That was all, like even going to jungles was an extreme case for me. I had never heard of that before.
Mhm.
Was that really shocking, or like how did you guys like take it?
I've read about like the snake bites and like being like raped and attacked while practicing this tradition, but it's mind blowing hearing it firsthand from the two gentlemen that spoke earlier. Like I couldn't even imagine like being there and actually hearing these stories like from the victims or from the families that are forcing these girls to practice this tradition.
Okay.
Yeah, for me, like I've been hearing about this stuff like growing up. And when I first got my cycle, I was in period isolation for like 14 days. But at that time, I was really young and I was really happy that I got to skip school and just be home and eat snacks and stuff. And my dad and my brother, like they couldn't see me, but my dad used to just be like, come inside my room, and yeah. But this is nothing new to me. Like I've been hearing about all this stuff growing up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think I think today's webinar, we really saw the difference, how like girls in Nepal, what they face during their periods. And like, I think to most people, it would be, you guys know it because you've been working on this in this organization. But if I tell someone from here in the US, it would be really shocking to them. It's such a huge difference in their like period experience, right? And it has not even come to period hygiene yet. It has come to like treating them as humans first, right? Like comes to like being in periods, or like following the traditions. Other than that, we are almost at the end. I just want to ask like a few more questions. If you have you can put it in the chat section, or if you guys want to like speak on your microphone, if you guys have anything to add.
Yes, I do have
Can
a
I say
comment.
something?
Sure,
Yeah,
go ahead,
sure.
please.
Yeah.
Okay. So, hello everyone.
Hi.
So, I was wondering earlier you told about that you were seeking for some volunteers, and I would like to volunteer. So, what are the procedure? I went through your website, but so it would be really convenient if you could tell me in brief. So, what kind of help are you seeking, and what can we do from our level? Is it some kind of financial help or any other help? What you guys are looking for?
So we're always seeking monetary donations. Those donations are going to go towards buying period products, pads, tampons. We would then also use that money to send the pads to like DePaul orphan homes. To if SOSAC needed them, we would send them there, just to like help the Nepali community. Also, we're looking for people who know how to sew, because we want to make reusable pads, because For a regular pad, it just lasts for one day, and then that's it. And then if you have a reusable pad, it can last up to 3 years. So we're definitely looking for people who know how to sew. We're also looking for people who want to go out into the community and talk about this issue. If you would like to volunteer with us, we could give you a packet of information, and you can hand out flyers. You can hand out information to people in the community to talk about what this tradition is, like how it affects young women, period poverty in general. Does that sound something you'd be interested in?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, awesome. You can just go to our website, and then if you click on the volunteer tab, and then you can sign up from there. And all you do is just input your email address, your first name, your last name, and then that's it.
Okay, I'll do that for sure. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. And yeah, go to their website. Do go to their website. They have a lot of information, and yeah, you can. There's a form you have to fill out, right, Jessica, for the volunteer.
Yes. So you can go on our website and you can fill out just a short form, just like your name, your basic information. And then if you would like to come to one of our events, you would just sign a piece of paper just saying like pretty much like if you got hurt at one of our events, like we wouldn't be liable. And then that's really it.
Thank you. And for the collaboration with Hira sir and Madhav sir, I will try to, like, NSA will try to work as a mediator so that you guys can collaborate for future events and like work on this cause even more. I would just like to share one thing. I had like Jessica and I had come up with this form to get responses from people about their Chhaupadi or their peer isolation experience. But before that, I was wondering if Shishir, would you like to say something? I mean, you are here representing NSA. I know, like, I just threw it at you, but I really want to hear like something from NSA, right? So.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for calling me out. It was really a wonderful session having all of you talk in this topic, and the Chhaupadi organization being in the US, they're trying to do something for Nepal, and that really caught my attention. And NSA is something that is also dedicated in helping Nepalese students, but also for the welfare of Nepalese community. So to have a discussion on this topic, which is very important in today's generation, because we have already discussed so much that a lot of youth, young girls, even senior girls are having problem with menstruation. They have to stay out of home, and even I've seen my mother's doing it, my sister's doing it, and to have a discussion about that, I would definitely. I've definitely learned a lot of things, and I'll also try to tell my parents and tell my sisters to, here's the thing, that's, if you're bleeding, that doesn't mean that you're unsafe. That doesn't mean you're unhygienic. That's just a natural process. And I think I've got the confidence from you guys that I can go and speak to my sisters, my relatives, and even some friends that I know. And thanks for discussing about this, and we're very glad to be a part of it. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Cecile. At the end, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the responses we got from the forum. I would like to say this a little bit in Nepali also, because it's really important that people from Nepal know this. हजुरहरूले भन्नुभयो नि लाइक नेपालमा गाउँमा बढी छ अनि सिटिजहरूमा पनि भइरहेको छ तर त्यस्तो एक्सट्रिम चाहिँ छैन मैले यता युएसमा अहिले म पढिरहेको छु आफ्नो ब्याचलर्स डिग्री गर्न म युएस आएको थिएँ अनि मैले धेरै केटीहरूसँग कुरा गरेँ यसको बारेमा इभन बिफोर लाइक मैले छौपडीको बारे लाइक छौपडी अर्गनाइजेसनको बारेमा जानुभन्दा अगाडि पनि म यो यस्तो कुराहरू गरिरहन्थेँ सबैसँग अनि त्यही सिलसिलामा मैले अलमोस्ट 3-4 केटी भेटेँ होइन लाइक केटीहरू भेटेँ हु आर लिभिङ हियर युएसमै बसिरहेछन् उनीहरूको मम्मी बुबा नि यतै हुनुहुन्छ होइन देयर लाइक डिभी पढेर सायद यता आउनु भएको होला अनि अहिले पनि उनीहरूको घरमा उनीहरूलाई किचन जान अलाउड छैन उनीहरू सेपरेटली नै खानुपर्छ अनि उनीहरूलाई केही छुन अलाउड छैन अनि मैले भने उनीहरूलाई लाइक ट्राई टु रिपेल होइन लाइक यसको बारेमा कुरा गर लाइक मेबी दे अन्डरस्ट्यान्ड बुझ्नुहुन्छ होला भनेर तर केही पनि गर्न मिल्दैन भनिसके जति गर्नु छ गरिसके तर देयर इज नो चेन्ज केही नि गर्न सकिएको छैन सो यता युएसमा आएर नै यति यसरी एक्सट्रिम कन्डिसनमा बसिराख्नु यता युएसको लागि त म एक्सट्रिम नै भन्छु सो एक्सट्रिम कन्डिसनमा बसिरहनु परेको छ भने लाइक त्यो कुरा त्यो चिजले देखिन्छ कि कति डिप रुटेड छ कति पुरानो कति गाह्रो छ यो ट्रेडिसन हटाउन भनेर सो या I just want to tell this to everyone. And yeah, to translate that in English, I just wanted to say that in the responses that I got, there were, I think I discussed this with Jessica as well. I've mentioned this before. I came across 2-3 women or 2-3 girls who are residing here in the US. Their families are here. They've been living here for like several years, and they confess that they still go through this. Their parents still isolate them. They're not allowed to enter the kitchen. They're not allowed to touch the food. They're not allowed to share the common area. So that was really, really shocking for me that even after living so many years here in the US, they're still suffering from this tradition. And there's nothing they can do about it. I talked to them. I told them, like, maybe you can convince them to not follow this tradition anymore, but there's nothing they can do. The only thing that they promised me was that this tradition ends with them and they're not going to follow this anymore. So, yeah. Thank you, everyone. I have one last request to everyone. If you guys don't mind, you can drop your email in the chat section for future events, for other updates about what we do in the future. If y'all can drop your email right here. I'll drop mine as well if you guys want to contact me later in future.
If it's possible, I want to add a few words. So this event, like what we felt is what I personally felt. This is not the end of event. Like I guess we have started something that we should keep working. So in future, we will try to figure out some new possibilities. Like we have found a new collaboration, and in future, maybe I know some people like who would like to collaborate and put in their force, so that I feel this is not just the end of the event, but this is a start for a new cause, and we'll stay connected with each other. Maybe upcoming semesters we might bring some more programs and some more stories for you to get and connect. And for that reason, I need everybody's email so that I can keep everybody connected and in the same ground. And also we are recording this video so that people who have not been able to make it to the event, we will email them. We will put this in our Facebooks so they can learn today's session and collaborate as accordingly. Thank you. This is me, President from NSA UTA. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prince.
अनि ठ्याक्कै वही कुरा गर्दै गर्दा हामी चाहिँ मेबी अब कतिजना आज मैले हिरा सरको कुरा सुनेँ अनि त्यसपछि प्रशंसाको त आई बिन फलोइङ अर त्यसपछि अरू सरहरू पनि हुनुहुन्थ्यो सो हामी चाहिँ यता एनएसएबाट पनि के कस्तो कुराहरू गर्न सकिन्छ त्यो कुरा पनि हामी ध्यान दिनेछौँ नट ओन्ली छाउपडी इन युएसए बट नेपालमा पनि भइरहेको छ नि त सो ट्राई टु लुक इन्टु इट अनि लेट्स सी how it goes. So this is just the starting.
Yeah, sure.
I would like to add something. Hello, everyone. My name is Ahana, and I'm really glad that I came to know about this since when I was on my early age of like menstrual, but my dad, he doesn't believe in this. But my mom, she was really strict, and my dad was like, just be silent and then just go to the kitchen, do whatever you want. And then like that's how my dad was really encouraging on that time, and he was like always supporting me. And this is how I learned. But I came to learn about like those snake bite and the people, like 5 girls who just had to die because of this. It's really saddening. So yeah, thank you so much for bringing out this to us. I'm definitely gonna share this to my friends in Nepal and make it aware. So, and we'll try our best from NSA to help you out to do whatever we can. So thank you so much, guys, for like doing this. We really appreciate it, and NSC is always there for you guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ahana. I hope you guys have already dropped your email in here. If not, I'm just going to leave it open for a few more seconds. Any last comments, any questions? I know I've said that like a million times today, but like just like before we wrap it up.
I know we just want to say thank you for doing this event with us. Like we were super excited about it, and it turned out it was a really great event, and we're just really thankful that we got to spread the word about this tradition, and we can possibly collaborate more in the future too.
Definitely. Prashansa, would you like to add anything else? Final, like before we wrap it up?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, thank you so much for providing us this platform to discuss about Chhaupadi. And second of all, it was amazing hearing from हाम्रो दुईटा sir two of our sirs and what they had to say, because we got a lot of stats and and I think numbers are really important to get the actual idea of the situation. So thank you, sir. Thank you, NSA, for providing this platform. Yeah, I had a great time. So thank you.
Thank you. Madhavji, Hiraji, any last word from you guys before we wrap it up?
Nothing to say more, but we are pleased to take part in this program, and we are hoping to have a collaboration with the organization, and we want to take a step on ending such social issues and taking the community towards progressive lead. So hope to see you on future and hope to collaborate with you. Thank you to be part.
Thank you, Madhavji.
धन्यवाद धेरै बोल्ने अवसर पनि पाइयो, यो आफ्ना कुराहरू मनका कुराहरू शेयर गर्ने अवसर पनि पाइयो। त्यसको लागि हाम्रो त झन् कस्तो खतरा अवस्था छ भने आज एउटामा हाम्रो साथीहरू राहत वितरण गर्न गएको, उपाध्यक्ष म मिस भएको छु भनेर राहत वितरण गर्ने कार्यक्रममा जानु भएन, जबकि 10 मिटरको दूरीमा थिएन त्यो राहत वितरण गर्ने कार्यक्रम, उहाँ बसेको ठाउँ र राहत वितरण गर्ने भनेको मतलब कस्तो अवस्था छ हाम्रो यहाँको, यो भनेर नै सकिन्न। मैले अघि च्याट बक्समा त लेखेको थिएँ। हजुरहरूलाई धेरै धेरै धन्यवाद हाम्रो कुरा सुनिदिनु भयो।
Thank you, हजुरलाई नि धेरै धेरै धन्यवाद हिराजी, एकदम इम्पोर्टेन्ट कुराहरू गर्नुभयो हजुरले। So with that, thank you so much everyone for being a part of this webinar today. I'm really happy that we did this. I feel more empowered. I feel more I feel more empowered, and I feel like I can make a difference after hearing to all of you. And just stay safe during this time of COVID-19, and I hope you guys have a great weekend. Thank you, and looking for more collaborations in the future. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Taking this moment, yeah. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Thank you, Hiraji.